Hey guys, Anthony with the Rag Company, and in today's video, we're going out with the old and in with the new. And I'm gonna show you how to protect them. Let's jump into it. All right, so in today's video, we're doing something a little different. So Nate at the Rag Company just picked up a set of brand new Corbo RRX seats, and these things are absolutely beautiful. Now he bought these to replace his old, nasty, and grungy Chevy S10 seats. Now this particular seat is from the 90s and was quite literally pulled from a junkyard across the street. This thing is full of cigarette burns, holes, questionable stains, and other things on the surface that I can't quite identify. So what's gonna happen today is we're gonna probably take this seat and toss it into a dumpster. And we're gonna be coating these new seats with Diamond Protect's leather kit. So a leather coating is going to offer some water repellency, which is great, but it's going to resist oils a lot more. And it's going to remain semi-permeable, meaning that this coating can actually breathe, right? Leather and vinyl does need to breathe because it is very porous. And this coating, while it's going to coat everything, is still gonna have some pores in there so air can still escape as needed. Now what's awesome about the leather kit is that it can be used on both coated leather and vinyl surfaces. In today's case, these seats are in fact vinyl. Now in terms of what kind of leather or vinyl should you coat, it's really up to you. Now if you were to have a very used seat or maybe even a lightly used seat, then you're going to want to go through all of the preparations before the coating, meaning that you're going to have to clean that seat with a dedicated leather cleaner or interior cleaner. Really clean it well before jumping into the body prep stage. Now in the case of these new seats, they're new. There's really not much I have to do other than lay down the body prep and then I can jump straight into coating. With that said, we're going to toss this out of here, move this over here, and focus on the main event. All right, so jumping straight into this, we're gonna go ahead and grab our gloves out of the kit. You're gonna wanna wear the gloves for both the prep step as well as the application step. Now, what I find is that this little bottle goes a long way, meaning that just this bottle of diamond leather is probably able to coat, I don't even know how many seats at this point. I don't think we've actually ran out. And then from there, we're gonna open up our diamond body prep. Now, one cool thing about the body prep is that this is going to be the same prep product that you would use on the exterior of a vehicle as well with the rest of the DPT products. Now, each product is obviously very different from another, but it's pretty cool that you're able to still use the same prep for a lot of different things. Now, the glass prep, for example, don't use that on the body and don't use that on the interior. That's really its own thing, whereas the body prep is somewhat universal. So, cracking this thing open right here, we're gonna go ahead and throw in our sprayer, and I'm gonna be using the towel that they provided within the kit for the prep step. They do only provide one towel, so I highly recommend having an extra towel or two for the coating process. And in today's case, I'm gonna be using our famous purple pearl. Now I know some of you might be thinking, Anthony, you're using a body prep on vinyl, and yes, it is safe. We've tested this on many different vinyl and interior surfaces, and we've never had an issue with color bleeding or anything like that. Now, if there was a spot that was touched up or re-dyed, I could see that being somewhat of an issue, but since these are factory sealed and coated, this is not gonna remove anything like that. All right, so at this point in time, we have the entire front side of the seat all prepped with the body prep, but what we're gonna do now is actually flip the seat around and focus on cleaning the back of it. And this is actually where we're gonna start on the coating process. So we're gonna start with the back first of the coating and then work our way to the front just to make things easy and to note where we've been. What I like to typically do is use the different type of sewing marks or the different structure of the seat to kind of determine on where I'm going and where I need to go. So for example, I might cut off the coating right here at the zipper and then say, okay, I've gotten this area right here on this panel, and then I'll move on to maybe a side panel. And so what I do is I kind of plot it out like it's a map, find my areas that I need to coat, find where I need to go, and that's pretty much it. So we'll start with the back, get this coated, flip it around, and start coating the front. All right, I'm gonna do a 50-50 just to show you the difference in terms of color and what it's going to look like. Then we'll wipe it off and you'll see that it actually finishes to a nice new look. Well, these seats are new, but it's just gonna look even newer than new. So opening up my box here, I have diamond leather. Gonna pull this out. and I'm gonna give it just a decent little shake here. So it does come with a 2x4 applicator, which is gonna be perfect for the job. You don't need anything fancy such as a pearl weave, but if you do prefer a pearl weave applicator or have a few lying around, you can use that as well. So taking the diamond leather, I'm going to be applying this to the frontmost part of the applicator. That's pretty much what that looks like, and just that amount right there should be able to do quite a bit of the back of this. So from here, starting up top, and we are going to draw our line and start working it in. Now the flash time on this coating is pretty long, so you don't really have to worry about it high spotting or anything like that within seconds, but it's something that I would recommend wiping off at least within a couple of minutes. So you could actually work quite a bit of an area, but just for this first part, I'm gonna let this set up and then wipe it off just to show you if there is a difference in the look. So crosshatch is needed. And then up top here on this plastic piece, I can coat that as well. So go over the top of that and we will call that good for right there. I'm gonna let this set up for just a little while just to kind of watch it flash. Now in terms of it flashing, it does look different than paint. Basically when it becomes kind of damp looking but not wet, that would be the time to wipe it off. All right, so this looks about right to me. Got a couple damp areas right here. Got a little bit of a wet line right there, but I'm gonna clean that up with the pearl weave. So coming through, take my towel, start knocking that down. So going back to what I was saying before, how I kind of plot out my course when it comes to an interior coating, I'll just use the panels on a seat to determine where I need to go next. So for example, I did this one side, I need to knock out this other side, then from there I'll section everything out by this zipper, by different stitches. So maybe I'll go from here to maybe this whole side panel, maybe up top here, over to here, before I flip it around. This just makes things easy to know where to go or where you've been. But yeah, we gotta keep going here. So I'm gonna knock out this side, all this top section, then we'll flip this thing around. All right, so it's finished up the back of the seat here, and so far so good. You're gonna wanna check for high spots, especially on darker leather, such as black here. High spots are gonna look like just a darker, deeper area. And so for that, if you do have a high spot, the easiest way to remove it is just to take your applicator that has more coating on it, go back over it, and then even it out and level it out with a microfiber towel. So just basically wipe it on and then just buff it out, and that high spot should go away almost immediately. So lighter tan colors and things like that, you're probably not gonna notice it as much, but definitely on black leather. So at this point in time, we are going to be taking our patient here and letting them relax a little bit. We're gonna go ahead and recline this seat all the way to as flat as we can possibly get it to expose everything in the seat to be able to coat it all. All right, so with the seat fully reclined, this makes things much, much easier. Now, is this something that you can do in the car? Absolutely. Some people forget that their seat reclines as far as it can, so just try to recline it as far as it'll go, just to expose all this area here underneath the seat back, as well as the seat bottom, because when you're coating something, you don't want to miss any spots. You want to coat anything and everything, and especially when down here along this crack is where a lot of dirt falls, a lot of water, a lot of other liquids. You're going to want to make sure that this is coated as well. So starting from the top here at the headrest, we're going to take more of our coating, and I'm going to section out my top section here, which is going to be the headrest to the sides of the headrest. So setting down my applicator, coming over to here, buffing off the excess, and now we can focus on the sides as well as this whole mid-back area. And then I think I'm going to start on this outside edge here. I'm gonna go deep into the seat back right here. Now this middle section here is going to be a perforated vinyl. Some people are kind of weird when it comes to conditioning perforated leather or vinyl because they don't want to see a bunch of white spots inside the perforations. And I totally get that. That would annoy me as well. Fortunately, since this is a coating, it's going to be transparent. You're not gonna be able to see anything like that. But I do agree that with old school conditioners back in the day, you would go to apply it over perforation and it would just look absolutely hideous. So I promise you, it's going to look just like it should with a coating. So taking my coating here, I'm gonna start on the bottom of the seat back. And then some people might be worried about a stitched logo here. You can go right over the stitch, it's not gonna hurt it. So taking this, going over the stitch, And bam, we have knocked out the full upper section here. So this is now protected against oils. It's going to be protected against water, and it's going to hopefully look newer for longer. But now we need to focus on what's considered to be the most important part of the seat, which is the lower section with these aggressive bolsters. Let's go ahead and get this coated, starting from the inner section here, and then we'll work our way out to the outside bolsters. All right, so I just finished up the driver's seat over here, and this is now completely coated. Now, as a comparison, here is the uncoated passenger seat. So as you can see, did this change the look of the seat at all? Did it add an oily look to it? No, it's going to retain that nice matte to satin finish that I still think looks very, very OEM. Now, as far as how much product I used on the driver's seat over here, guys, I barely used anything. I could probably coat another 10, 12 pairs of seats with what's in this bottle. A little goes a long way, and you do get a lot of bang for your buck. Now, as far as the expectations of a coated leather or vinyl seat, things you can expect: about 12 months of protection out of Diamond Protex leather coating, as well as oil resistance. It's going to be able to have some hydrophobic behavior, meaning it's going to resist water, hopefully out of these perforations here on the seat. It's going to resist dirt, it's going to resist grime, and it's going to keep it looking cleaner for longer. So again, this is going to be ideal for when you have maybe a new car with new seats, or maybe lightly used seats. It's not going to transform your old seats by any means, but it still will protect anything with vinyl or leather. So I could see this being great for somebody that's driving a race car, such as Nate here with these cool seats, or just if you have kids, right? If you have kids that are drawing with crayons in the back seat and you want something that's going to be easier to clean up, then I think coating that leather, coating that vinyl is going to be one of your best bets here. So that is Diamond Protex Diamond Leather Coating. Very, very easy to apply, very easy to use. Hopefully you guys enjoyed the video, and as always, if you guys like this kind of content and want to see more obscure seat coating videos, please make sure to give us a big thumbs up. Subscribe down below for more, and stay tuned for more videos right here at The Rat Company.